Have you ever noticed how someone can hurt your feelings deeply, yet when you bring it up, they seem to vanish into thin air emotionally? This puzzling behavior reveals something profound about why avoidants avoid apologies and what it really means beneath the surface. Picture Gabriel from Emily in Paris, charming, accomplished, yet mysteriously distant when things get emotionally heavy. When confronted about his mixed signals or hurtful actions, he doesn't storm out or create drama. Instead, he becomes curiously absent, even when physically present. This isn't cruelty or indifference, though it certainly feels that way. It's actually a sophisticated defense mechanism rooted in something psychologists call the framing effect and the illusion of transparency. The framing effect means people interpret the same situation completely differently based on how it's presented to them internally. For avoidance, an apology request gets framed as an attack on their competence rather than a chance to repair connection. The illusion of transparency tricks them into believing their internal struggle is obvious to everyone, creating shame that drives them further underground. Understanding these psychological phenomena transforms frustrating relationship patterns into opportunities for deeper connection and healing. If you want to better understand someone's attachment style, see the link in the description to one of the most popular books on attachment theory. Imagine a theater where the same play unfolds night after night, but the actors see completely different scripts. Sarah walks into the kitchen where her partner stands washing dishes. The tension from their earlier disagreement hangs in the air like morning fog. She takes a breath and says, "What you said earlier really hurt me. Can we talk about it?" In her mind, she's extending an olive branch, creating space for healing. She sees herself as vulnerable and brave, opening a door to deeper intimacy. But her partner experiences something entirely different. The words hit like a spotlight suddenly blazing on stage, exposing every flaw and inadequacy. Where Sarah sees an invitation, the avoidant sees an interrogation. Where she offers connection, they feel cornered. Their nervous system floods with the ancient message that emotional needs equal danger. This is the framing effect in action, the same moment framed as either opportunity or threat. The partner's face becomes carefully neutral, almost mask-like. They continue washing dishes with mechanical precision. "Everything's fine," they say, voice flat as old champagne. But inside, their mind races like a hamster on a wheel. They're thinking about work deadlines, weekend plans, anything except the elephant now sitting firmly in their kitchen. Sarah feels invisible, unimportant. What she doesn't realize is that her partner is drowning in shame, convinced that their internal turmoil is written across their face in bold letters. This is the illusion of transparency, the mistaken belief that inner experiences are obvious to others. Hours pass. Sarah tries again, gentler this time. "Could we please just acknowledge what happened?" Her partner busies themselves with suddenly urgent tasks. Emails that need immediate attention, calls that cannot wait. They're not being deliberately cruel. They're genuinely convinced that engaging will only make things worse, that their obvious incompetence at emotional matters will be exposed, that Sarah will finally see how fundamentally flawed they are. The irony cuts deep. Their attempt to protect the relationship by avoiding conflict actually creates the very rejection they fear most. Sarah feels dismissed and unheard, while her partner remains trapped in a prison of their own making, convinced they're protecting both of them from inevitable disaster. Days might pass before any resolution comes, if it comes at all. The avoidant partner might eventually offer a brief "sorry" thrown over their shoulder while leaving for work, or they might simply pretend nothing happened until Sarah drops the issue from exhaustion. But here's what makes this story profound rather than simply sad. Understanding the internal experience changes everything about how to respond. When someone consistently avoids apologies, resist the natural urge to chase or pressure, Think of Penn Badgley's character Joe Goldberg from You. When people pursue him too intensely, he only becomes more elusive and defended. Instead, create what relationship experts call emotional safety. This means explicitly stating that the goal isn't to prove anyone wrong or extract an admission of guilt. Say something like, "This isn't about blame. There's something between us that feels disconnected, and connection matters more than being right." This reframes the entire interaction from threat to opportunity. Timing becomes crucial with avoidant patterns. Rather than addressing issues in the heat of the moment, wait until both people feel calm and grounded. Blair Waldorf from Gossip Girl might demand immediate resolution and dramatic declarations, but avoidants need space to process without feeling cornered. Give them room to breathe, then approach with curiosity rather than accusation. Ask questions like, "What was that experience like for you?" instead of statements like, "You always shut down when things get real." Most importantly, understand that the illusion of transparency works both ways. Just as avoidants believe their internal struggle is obvious, you might assume your intentions are crystal clear when they're actually quite murky. Be explicit about your needs and motivations. Instead of hinting or hoping they'll read between the lines, say directly, "When conflict gets swept under the rug, distance grows between us, and that distance hurts. Finding a way to talk through disagreements would help me feel closer to you." This removes guesswork and reduces the chances of triggering their defensive responses. Remember that avoidants often express care through actions rather than words. While you might crave verbal acknowledgement and emotional processing, they might be showing remorse by making your morning coffee, handling a task you dislike, or simply staying present when their instinct screams to flee. Learning to recognize these non-verbal apologies can transform your entire relationship dynamic. Sometimes the person who struggles most with saying sorry is actually the most sorry of all. They just speak a different emotional language. The deeper truth about why avoidants avoid apologies reveals something beautiful about human resilience and adaptation. These patterns usually developed as brilliant survival strategies during childhood when emotional expression felt dangerous or futile. Understanding this transforms frustration into compassion, both for them and for yourself. You're not asking too much by wanting connection and acknowledgement. They're not fundamentally flawed for struggling to provide it. You're simply two people speaking different emotional languages, trying to love each other across the gap. Change happens slowly in the realm of attachment, like watching a flower bloom in real time. But when avoidants begin to feel truly safe, when they start to believe that their imperfections won't be weaponized against them, something magical unfolds. They begin to risk vulnerability in small doses. That mechanical dishwashing might pause. Eye contact might linger a moment longer. Eventually, actual words might come, halting, imperfect, but real. The next time someone important to you seems to vanish emotionally, right when connection feels most crucial, remember the invisible theater where different scripts play simultaneously. Respond to their internal experience, not just their external behavior. Create safety instead of pressure. Recognize non-verbal apologies alongside verbal ones. Most importantly, trust that underneath the avoidance lies someone who cares deeply, but simply needs a different pathway to express it. Love, after all, speaks many languages, and learning each other's dialect might just be the most intimate conversation of all.
Thank you for watching. If you want to learn how to better understand avoidance, relationships, and psychological biases, then subscribe to our channel, because you deserve beautiful relationships.